Hello there folks, and welcome back to Space Engineers. It's torture test time. So today we're going to be taking a look at two of the subscriber submissions. Thank you guys for everybody who has sent in your ship. I've seen all of them so far and they are pretty good, some of them. And today we're going to be looking at this one and another one, and hopefully this can give you an idea for some ideas for builds on what to do and possibly even on what not to do. This is a very utilitarian design ship. I actually kind of like it. It's something that I could see myself designing, mostly because I myself, as you very well know, am not very good at designing really good looking ships, but they work very well for what they're designed for. And this thing, it kind of looks like a potato. No offense, but it actually looks like it would perform its job admirably. So let's take a look inside, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's a decent ship. So inside here, it's got your standard airlock. It's got a control panel force set airlocks. There's even timers and stuff, so that if we want to click it, okay, maybe not that one. There we go. Well, that one opens and closes it, but there's also a hangar door on the outside. As you can see, that it closed that. So he's got some nice setup groups and stuff like that. And yes, there is oxygen on the inside. It's kind of dark and dismal in here, and I had to put a remote control block as I couldn't find one, so I made it pink. Alright, so this is the back of the ship. Front of the ship's over here. One thing that I do like about this ship is it has an internal antenna that won't get broken off, which is kind of a cool idea. And it's got cargo containers, stuff like that. Here are some of the timer blocks that control the door mechanisms and stuff like that. We have our oxygen and, you know, stuff like that. Batteries. Just some engineering in the back, nothing too special. Going off to the side, we have, just believe this is an oxygen vent. Yep, nothing too special in there. So, in case of depressurization, I suppose you'll have one room that you can go to that might hopefully still have some oxygen. And on this side, we have some backup nuclear reactors with air vents as well. And it's all connected via conveyor tubes and stuff like that, so it can stay powered in the case of an emergency. And we have assemblers, refineries, and stuff in the center of the ship. Moving around towards the front, we have more oxygen generators, and then these two doors go to essentially the same place. And it's another airlock type thing with guns to protect you. And then inside here is the hallway where the other door is that goes back that way. And then in here is the cockpit. You've got two control seats and one flight seat, and you have a couple of buttons that really aren't mapped to anything, but that's all right. So here we are. We are all set. We're going to meet you guys back when we are at the control station, which is, I don't know where it is. It's thereabouts. Can't really see it right now. And we're going to start the torture test. Also, just, I suppose we can show you what's on the ship itself. So just some batteries, air vents, nothing too spectacular. There's not even that much armament on it. I believe there are 2 missile launchers and several Gatling cannons. Yeah, there's 8 Gatling turrets and only 2 missile turrets, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And that's about it. So let's see how this thing fares. I'll see you guys back in a bit. Alright, and we are ready for the test to begin. One thing to take note of is that we won't have to worry about our stations and stuff floating away, so I took care of that issue. Thanks for the people that responded to the call on that. I made sure that I listened to your suggestions, and we won't have that problem anymore. Also, one thing to take note of is that ship is made up of almost entirely engines and heavy armor blocks, so it'll probably fare pretty well. So let's get started. Alright, well, I decided to cut the test short a little bit because the sheer amount of volume of fire slowed down the ship to the point where it's barely moving. So I didn't think it was fair to have this ship kind of crawl across the course, continuing to get shot. So I did decide to cut the test short a little bit because I think it had its fair share of, well, you know, bullets and stuff. Let's throw this on here and see if we can't control the ship. I know it's... Well, the cockpit's completely gone. We're actually going to take a look at what's left of this ship. I just want to get it to stop moving for the time being. So, inertial dampeners on. And it looks as though it's slowing down. So, despite all that this went through, it still has power. And it... Well, some parts are drifting off. And actually, you know what? The engineering section looks to be in remarkably good condition. Whereas the rest of the ship, not so much. So... If we start towards the front of the ship, this is where the bridge used to be, operative word, and there's pretty much nothing left except for heavy armor blocks, and I gotta admit, they did protect the engines quite well, as the engines are still operative and they are still working, at least some of them are, which is quite frankly amazing. In here there was... an oxygen generator and oxygen tanks. Those are completely gone, and refinery is still there. Probably doesn't work. I suppose we can always find out. That's right, this ship is still kind of moving because... Yeah, nope, doesn't work. Okay, well, moving on back. We have some conveyors and a whole bunch of conveyor tubes that are just strewn about the ship. I'm really interested as to which engine is still working, or which, not engine, but nuclear reactor. So I'm gonna burrow my way in, see if I can't find it. This is quite the disaster of a ship, but you know what? I'm really surprised it's still working. Oh, I see. I'm upside down. Okay, so this is back where the batteries used to be. Maybe the batteries are powering the ship. Who knows? Actually, there was a couple of nuclear reactors on... I believe it was... Nope, that's the air vent side of the ship. The nuclear reactors were on this side of the ship. Yeah, I don't think they're there anymore. But... yeah, there's really no part of this ship that's... you could consider untouched. But, you know, it's surprised... It survived surprisingly well. There's a couple of gyroscopes left. And some of the rear thrusters are still working. However, all the lateral thrusters are gone, I believe. Well, not that one, but there's no lateral thrust in that direction, or thrust in the upward direction, I believe, is all gone. And thrust in the downward direction we might still have. Nope, that's all gone too. So, Alright, well, that has been... this ship. Thank you for submitting this. We're going to take a look at our next ship. I actually like the design of the next ship quite a lot more, and I might actually have to use the design cues in maybe one of our future ships. So let's take a look. Alright, so here we have our next ship that we're going to test. I actually like this design quite a lot. It has a cool little inlaid black feature with outlines of and accents of blue with cool angled and sharp edges. And not to mention that, it has many, many weapons. It is just positively bristling with guns, which is going to be very good as far as defense and offense is concerned, whereas the other ship really didn't have much, which is probably why it suffered so greatly. But one thing to take into account is this is only light armor blocks by the looks of it, so we'll have to see how that works out for him. But one thing that I do like about this ship is the bridge actually has 3 window panes, so that actually protects the cockpit from enemy fire by quite a bit. We'll have to see how that actually works out for him. And you know how the Gatling cannons and stuff like to target the command and control sections of the ship, so that might actually work out well for it. Anyhow, let's take a look in the inside. So in the inside we have some, you know, assemblers, refineries, that sort of thing, gravity generator, gyroscopes, and we have 3 missile launchers connected to conveyors, which is kind of cool, right up front. And working our way back, we have interior turrets, we have a fancy-dancy power generator right there. Just one big one by the looks of it. And we have another inlaid antenna. I really do like the idea of inlaying your antenna in the inside of the ship. It does protect it, so you never lose control of it. Also, plenty of cargo containers, so this must be just a cargo ship that is bristling with weapons. I do like how they covered up the passageway. That's an interesting touch. And then we just go up, and here's the bridge of the ship. So there's not really too much to it. Nice design, though. So we're going to have some fun with it. But first, let's actually take a look at what is on the inside of the ship. So we have remote controls, turrets. We have, I believe, 5 of them. We have 3 rocket launchers at the front of the ship, which we will take a look at. There. 3 of them right there. And then we have like 8 or so rocket launchers. So I think that will be good, and I will meet you guys back when we're ready to fly this thing. Alright, well, the gun stopped firing, so I guess we blew up most of what we could possibly blow up. Yeah, one thing that, kind of a issue on this ship is there was only one power source. I mean, it started out really strong. It blew up a lot of our turrets in the front, but once the large reactor was blown up, well, there was really no saving it after that. However, it does look like most of the glass panes are still intact. However, because of the light armor blocks, it still does look like it was able to punch through and destroy those command consoles. Yep, and right here is where the large reactor would have been, and it's completely gone. However, let's just see what would happen if we do throw in a reactor. Will this bring it back to life? Yep, and indeed it starts firing again, so it's a very, very lightly armored ship. Cool, though. Cool as it is. Well, there you have it. Keep your submissions coming, and we'll probably be testing the Voyager ship next episode, because I want to see how that one does, as we've created it specifically for something like this. And same thing with our gunship. So, thank you folks for watching. That'll be it for this short episode, and I will see you guys next time.